New Penzance is a remote island that is well known for its extreme climate. On this island, an introverted girl named Susie lives with her family and siblings. Susie spends most of her time reading alone and scoping the surrounding island with her binoculars. As an introvert, Susie doesn't have many people to talk to. However, she has a pen pal who always exchanges letters with her. On the other side of the island, a group of Boy Scouts is camping at a spot called Ivanhoe Camp. Randy, the camp leader, starts the day by checking on each camp member. However, when they gather for breakfast, Randy notices that one of his members, Sam, is missing. Because of that, Randy goes to Sam's tent and finds that the boy has escaped. Randy informs the island's police officer, Captain Sharp, about the missing Boy Scout. Not only that, Randy tells Sharp that Sam also stole several camping equipment and provisions from Ivanhoe campsite. In Sam's letter, he resigns from the camp for an unknown reason. Sam also mentions that his fellow scouts would be glad he left, indicating his bad relationship with other scouts. After receiving Randy's report, Captain Sharp informs Sam's parents about the boy's situation. However, the man on the other line takes the information lightly and doesn't express any concern for Sam. Captain Sharp asks if the man is truly Sam's father, and the man reveals Sam's true origin. It turns out that they are Sam's foster parents, and his birth parents died years ago. After that, Randy gathers the remaining Boy Scouts and forms a search party for Sam. However, as the boys and Sam aren't on good terms, they don't take this emergency seriously. In fact, they decide to each grab a weapon and turn their search party into a hunting party for Sam. Meanwhile, Captain Sharp goes to local houses and asks them about the missing boy. Sharp also goes to Susie's house and informs her parent about the missing boy. After Sharp leaves Susie's house, her mother sneaks out to meet with the officer. At the same time, Susie watches her mother and Sharp's affair from her binoculars. At the end of the day, Sam is still missing as the search party returns empty-handed. The following day, Sam rows his miniature canoe across the island's rivers. With his scout skills, Sam traverses the island alone and manages to reach his first destination. Sam meets with Susie on a field, and the two exchange stares for a moment. In a flashback, Sam sneaks away from his group while attending a theatrical performance. Soon after, Sam goes to the dressing room and meets Susie. Sam expresses his interest in Susie, and Susie also likes him. After that brief encounter, Susie leaves a note for Sam and asks him to contact her. Since then, Susie and Sam have written letters to each other and eventually become lovers. It is revealed that Sam and Susie have planned their escape in their letters and now decide to do it. They embark on an adventure to a destination that only they know. After traveling for almost a day, they decide to set up camp by a river. After Susie catches a fish with her fishing stick, Sam cooks it for their dinner. After that, Susie informs Sam about the stuff she brings with her. But when Sam grabs Susie's books, he notices they all belong to the library. When Sam asks if Susie stole these books, she reluctantly answers the question. Susie explains her reasons for stealing those books are because they made her feel better. Sam asks if Susie has trouble at home which causes her to steal those books. Later on, Susie explains that she became depressed when she found a book that her parent read. Since Susie is an introvert with anger problems, her parents think of her as a troubled child, thus making her sad. Hearing that, Sam tries to hold his laughter. Susie is enraged that Sam makes fun of her problem and decides to enter the tent. Seeing Susie's reaction, Sam feels bad and apologies to her. Susie accepts Sam's apology, and the two reconcile soon after. Eventually, Sam asks Susie to read him her books, and they spend the evening together. In the meantime, Susie's parents haven't noticed her missing yet. However, Mrs. Bishop notices a letter that Susie left for his brother. After telling her husband their daughter has gone missing, she tells Sharp that he now has 2 missing teenager cases. While Mr. Bishop and Sharp can't find Susie, her mother learns that Susie has a pen pal named Sam. The adults then find out about Susie and Sam's escape plans by reading their letters. On the following days, they go to a meadow that Sam and Susie used as a meeting spot. After searching for clues, a Boy Scout finds a can of cat food belonging to Susie. The search party knows Sam and Susie are close, so they continue tracking them down. Susie uses her binoculars and spots a group of Boy Scouts not far from them. The couple decides to continue their journey and goes deeper into the forest. Unfortunately, Sam's co-scouts manage to get ahead of them and block their way. Sam asks them to leave him alone, but they insist on taking Sam down. One of the boys then drives his motorcycle towards Sam, but Susie hurts him with her scissor. After a brief brawl, the scouts run away in fear. Susie feels bad for being that violent, but Sam calms her down. Meanwhile, Sharp leads the search party to bring the wounded boy to an infirmary in Fort Lebanon. However, Mr. Bishop calls out Sharp's incompetence and blames Randy for what happened to his daughter. Captain Sharp then reminds Susie's parents that they are guilty of raising such a violent daughter. While they argue, a professor shows up and demands their attention. The professor reveals that he is the one who taught Sam all his cartography skills and knowledge about the island. The professor also informs them that he knows where Sam is heading and willing to help them track his student. Meanwhile, Sam and Susie arrive at a beach they call the Moonrise Kingdom. After setting up camp, Sam and Susie swim together on the beach. After that, Sam paints Susie on his canvas and admires his lover's beauty. They spend the rest of the day by themselves and enjoy each other's company. In the evening, Sam learns that Susie thinks of her binoculars as her magic power. They then confirm their future plan to embark on an adventure when they grow up. After talking about their personal lives, Sam reaffirms his love for Susie, and Susie does the same. Susie then sets up her record player, and they dance to the music. After sharing a romantic moment, the couple gets inside the tent to rest. The following morning, the couple wakes up after hearing some noises outside. When Sam unzips the tent, everyone is waiting for them outside. Susie's parents express their anger as they take Susie away from Sam. Randy then gives Sam a letter informing him about his foster family's unwillingness to take him back. On the boat, Mr. Bishop warns Susie that she will never meet Sam ever again, and Susie expresses her objection. Meanwhile, Randy apologizes to Sam for not knowing he is an orphan. Randy then expresses his admiration for Sam, who has found the best camping spot he has ever seen. Upon arriving at the police station, Captain Sharp contacts the social service regarding Sam. The social service officer asks Sharp to look after Sam until she arrives to pick up the boy. Captain Sharp then asks what will happen to Sam after he is picked up. The social service officer explains that because of Sam's case, he will be placed in the juvenile refuge. Randy asks if it is an orphanage, and the social worker says yes. Unbeknownst to them, juvenile refuge is more like a prison than an orphanage. Sharp and Randy worry about Sam's fate, but they can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, Mrs. Bishop is bathing Susie at their house. Mrs. Bishop tries to let Susie know that she understands how Susie feels. Susie suddenly says that she hates her mother. Susie then says that she knows about Mrs. Bishop's affair with Captain Sharp. Her mother is surprised by what Susie said and avoids that topic. After seeing the book that made Susie depressed, her mother feels sorry for her. At Captain Sharp's house, Sam chats with the officer about his escape. Sharp tries to understand Sam's plight and feels sorry for him. Sharp treats Sam as an adult and talks to him as a fellow man. When Sam asks if Sharp has ever been in love, Sharp tells him about his unrequited love. At Ivanhoe Camp, the other Boy Scouts discuss Sam's fate after this. While they joke and make fun of Sam, one of them stops the conversation. The boy then makes his friends realize that they have been treating Sam badly all this time. He says Sam's life was very difficult because he lost his parents. After successfully making his fellow scouts feel sorry for Sam, they then make a plan to help him. The scouts sneak into Susie's house and take her away without Susie's parents knowing. After that, Sam wakes up from sleep and sees a rope falling from the chimney. Sam looks at the source of the rope and finds his scout buddy. The boy tells Sam they will help him get off the island, but Sam doesn't want to leave without Susie. Suddenly, Susie appears above the chimney and makes Sam want to leave. Sam then rushes to get his gear and left when Sharp falls asleep. After that, Sam, Susie, and their scout friends cross to the other side of the island to meet Cousin Ben in Fort Lebanon. At the same time, a storm is about to arrive on the islands. The professor, documenting this natural phenomenon, suspects that this storm would be the biggest in history in this region. After arriving on the other side of the island, Sam and his squad set up camp to rest. While they are relaxing, Susie reads a book to them. The next day, Susie's brother finds a papier-mâché on his sister's bed. Meanwhile, Randy belatedly realizes that all his scouts have escaped from Ivanhoe Camp. Randy informs the scout commander at Fort Lebanon about this, and the scout commander blames Randy for this incident. At the same time, Sam and his squad infiltrate Fort Lebanon to find Cousin Ben. After meeting with Cousin Ben, they ask the man to marry Sam and Susie. Cousin Ben doesn't have the authority to marry them off, but the couple insists on getting married. Therefore, Cousin Ben ended up marrying them both without legal protection. On September 5, 1965, Sam and Susie had their wedding rituals. After that, Sam and Susie say goodbye to their scout friends. With the help of Cousin Ben, they want to cross to another island. However, they suddenly return to the mainland because Susie's binoculars are left behind in Fort Lebanon. Sam runs to get Susie's binoculars, but when he arrives, the binoculars are now in the hands of the boy that Susie had previously attacked. Sam and the boy get into an argument before they finally fight. Sam hit the boy's wound and made him scream in pain. Upon hearing the screams, the Fort Lebanon scouts run towards the source of the sound. Sam tries to escape, but he is surrounded on both sides. After that, Sam runs to a field while the scouts chase him. When Sam intends to fight them on the rock, lightning strikes him suddenly. Sam bounces to the ground, but he is still alive. Susie and Sam's friends approach him, and then they escape by jumping over the fence. The scout commander then tells Captain Sharp about Sam and his friends. After informing social services and Susie's parents about this, Captain Sharp asks Randy to catch up with them quickly. During the chase, the weather is getting worse, and a storm is about to come. Soon after, a dam collapses due to heavy rains, which causes flash floods. The scout commander orders all his scouts to evacuate to the nearest church. Shortly after, Randy arrives at Fort Lebanon and reports to the scout commander. The scout commander vents his anger on Randy, who has failed to care for his members and put them in danger. After the scout commander blames Randy, he removes Randy from his duty as the team leader. When the scout commander enters his tent, a flash flood arrives and damages the commander's tent. Randy swiftly braves the danger and rescues the scout commander from his tent. After that, Randy led all the scouts towards the church for safety. After arriving at the church, they don't find Sam and his friends among the refugees. Sharp looks up at the balcony and notices a group of masked scouts up there. Shortly after, the social services officer arrives and asks Sharp to hand over Sam. The social service officer is furious when she hears the news that Sam has been struck by lightning. Sharp and Randy raise their objections to Sam being taken to juvenile refuge. As they all argue about Sam and Susie, Captain Sharp declares that he will not let Sam be taken away by the social service officer. Amid their argument, the wounded Boy Scout notices Sam and his friends on the balcony. At the same time, lightning struck the electricity and shut down the church lights. Sam and Susie take this opportunity to escape. Captain Sharp then chases the couple to the church roof along with Susie's parents. Upon arriving at the roof, Susie and Sam climb the church tower and hide near the church bell. Captain Sharp ties himself with a rope on his waist before climbing the tower to catch up with the couple. Up there, Sam and Susie intend to jump from the top of the church tower. If they survive the jump, they will continue to run away. But if they don't survive, at least they will go together with their love. Luckily, Sharp catches up with them and stops them from doing it. Captain Sharp, the social service officer, and Susie's parents inform Sam that Sharp has volunteered to be Sam's foster parent. Upon hearing that offer, Sam and Susie agree to accept it, so they don't have to run away forever. But suddenly, lightning strikes the church tower and destroys the bell. Fortunately, Sharp manages to save Sam and Susie with the help of the rope he has prepared. The next day, the island population witnessed how powerful the storm had hit their region. Meanwhile, the Boy Scouts return to their camp and start rebuilding. Last night's storm also caused the sinking of the beach that Susie and Sam call the Moonrise Kingdom. In the end, Sam now lives on the island and doesn't have to run away anymore. He can freely meet with his lover and live under Captain Sharp's care. After Sam leaves with his adoptive father, it is then revealed that the painting he was working on in Susie's room is a view of Moonrise Kingdom. Love is powerful and capable of motivating people to do things beyond reason. What do you think about the love story of Sam and Susie? Write your comments below. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.